Hi, I'm Ted DeWitt. I'm a marine ecologist with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and I'm also the chief of EPA's Newport Research Facility. Uh, Welcome to our Marine Science Day exhibit. Today I'll give you an overview of our research and our team, and I'd also like to invite you to visit the other presentations that are part of our exhibit, which you'll find on the homepage. Our mission is to conduct research to assess the effect of stressors like pollution and climate change on coastal ecosystems and how that affects public health, our economies, and our individual well-being. We do this research in our facility, which has flowing seawater, experimental mesocosms, cutting-edge instruments, boats, and hovercraft. Our team consists of scientists and technicians, our administrative staff, and our facilities and maintenance staff, IT staff, and students and interns. Very simply and probably obviously, pollution can be very expensive for our communities and for our country. Pollution comes in many forms, as indicated here on the right. And these can affect our costs through the need to build water treatment systems, to clean up pollution spills, to care for people who've gotten sick, and for impacts to our natural resources and jobs. The point of our research is to try to identify the sources of these problems, how they affect our ecosystems, and again, how they then affect our well-being. Our research program focuses on three topics, the first of which is water quality. We have focused on water quality in our coasts and bays and estuaries since our laboratory was established here in Newport in the 1970s. Currently, our work is focusing on nutrients, bacteria, and contaminated groundwater. As an example of some of our nutrients work, we're looking at the effects of nutrients and its interaction with temperature and on the rate of flow of water in estuaries on seagrasses. And seagrasses are important habitats because they help support many fisheries species, and they're also the center of much biodiversity in our estuaries. Seagrasses are also a sentinel of water quality, and the decline of seagrasses is closely associated with the decline in water quality. We're also looking at methods to trace the sources of pollution. And in one case, we're looking at the co-pollutants of nutrients and bacteria, which often go together, associated with activities like runoff from gardens and farms, from floods of cities, and runoff from streets, and from discharge from points of sources like wastewater treatment plants. When you look at a problem in an estuary and you see elevated levels of nutrients or bacteria, it's very difficult to know where those are coming from. And so some of our new methodologies are helping to untangle that. And I hope you'll take a look at the presentation on nutrients and bacteria for more about that. And the third is to use very innovative methodologies, techniques out of geophysics to trace contaminated groundwater. Groundwater is difficult to detect and measure because it's out of sight. And these techniques are very useful identifying sources and the movement and the ultimate fate of contaminants in groundwater. There's also a presentation on that research on our homepage. Another focus of our research is on benefits from nature or ecosystem services. And here we're looking at what is it in nature that people use and or enjoy and derive benefit from. So three examples of our research pictured here include looking at how salt marshes remove nutrients and thereby help improve water quality in our estuaries. Second is how to incorporate thinking about the benefits from nature that might be obtained from restoration, particularly of coastal wetlands. And the third is an example of work to map or quantify these ecosystem services, and in this case, looking at shellfish that are recreationally and commercially harvested in our bays. Please take some time and check out the presentation on benefits from nature that's also on our exhibit. The third focus of our research is on climate change, and here we do research that includes coastal acidification, identifying its causes and where it's occurring in local estuaries and around the nation. We also look at how climate change might affect estuarine fisheries through changes in salinity and temperature and habitats. And we also look at how coastal habitats might contribute to reduction of climate change through accumulation of carbon in soils, particularly how coastal wetlands contribute to this. In addition to our research, we also are involved in helping to nurture our next generation of scientists, and we've done this in a number of ways, everything from working in classrooms and in science fairs in our local schools, to hosting graduate and undergraduate interns to work in our laboratory alongside our scientists, and to showcase our work in open houses, much like the Marine Science Day today. The research we're conducting makes a difference at many levels. At the scientific level, we're providing insights on how to entangle human actions from natural processes to understand why ecosystems are changing. And we're providing methods and insights on how changes in our coastal environment are linked to changes in public health, to our jobs and our economy, and to individual well-being. Our work is also making a difference by being used by organizations to make better environmental decisions. This is happening at the federal level and at the state agency level, with particularly with helping organizations like Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, Oregon Department of Agriculture, Washington Department of Natural Resources, and Washington Department of Ecology. We also, our work is also being used by regional organizations like the Tillamook Estuaries Partnership and the Puget Sound Partnership to make their local decisions. And we're contributing information and our methodologies to tribes here in the Pacific Northwest. I hope you've enjoyed the few minutes that you've had with to learn about our lab, and I thank you for your time, and again, invite you to see some of our other presentations. Thank you.